This is the new AC Pro R32 condenser. So the classic is R, common Y. This is the power ground up here. Probably need to connect with H1, H2, and also the same thing of the air handler side somewhere. So I'm here showing E6 code. There is a this sensor plug and this one, or whatever plug. These two, they are connected to this blue CN1, but nothing by that showing E6 error code. And right now I have here 24 volts common to yellow. Okay, so we have ground to yellow, 24 volts, and the common to Y, 27 volts, and we have 240 volts. But E6 error code, and unit doesn't do anything. And we did the evacuation, release the refrigerant, but nothing is working. Also, fun fact, even it's not the heat pump, but the sticker says heat pump. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to figure out what's the problem that day and return next day. And unfortunately, there is no information about what needs to be done in order to make it work in the installation manual provided with the unit. We had to go online and find it to the instruction to this particular unit from the AC Pro website. Okay, basically today I'm going to find the deep switches to switch from the communicative mode to just 24 volts mode. Yeah, according to the instruction, there's supposed to be some like deep switches on the board, but yesterday I wasn't able to find it, and then read the instruction to this particular unit, and then right now its unit is disconnected. It was sitting for the 12 hours, so the capacitors should be discharged. It's safe to go in here. It's probably these two screws, and then we'll try to locate if there is any deep switches on this board to reassemble it. Took out these two, but it's not enough. It's probably holding these two, and that's what we connect yesterday: the yellow, common, red, and this is the stuff for the communication. And right now, by default, it seems like this unit is using this unit with communication, so it needs to H1 and H2 to communicate with indoor unit, but we don't have anything like that here in this furnace. So we need to find those deep switches and make them, and basically tell the unit, so use only this, so you don't need any communication. The bolts did become loose. This is the reusable zip ties, just press it and it came out easily. And this is this sucker, so you see these switches, so it says on UKO, on UKO, on, so we'll see which one we need to put. Okay, so by default this SA1, when it's two rockers down, that's communication mode. So, so we need to, according to instruction, try to put this one up, this bottom rocker up, and make it on. So the first one, SA1, these two, basically these two, this is the SA1 according to instruction. So we need to put it right here. Okay, we'll see what next. Okay, the second, I believe, according to instruction, we need to choose what kind of equipment we have, like air handler or condenser, and it appears like if these first two, this is the type of communication for the unit, but this one I believe we should do the second pair, so this one should go up number 4. Okay, and by now, if I'm not mistaken, we set the type of the communication just 24 volts. Now it should not look for the communication signal, it will only receive 24 volt. Basically work as an old air conditioner, like it has a contactor. And then is the type of the unit, so we choose the A coil, so not air handler, just a fan and coils, but that A coil, that means like probably furnace, probably logic is like that. All these switches, this is if you can choose the like operation mode, the quietness, the changing the capacity, but we're not for here because this is the 3-ton system, and it's exactly what we're looking. These settings should be okay. Okay, I'm gonna now put back this cover and then start the unit, and we'll see if it will start. As you can see, now we receiving 24 volts from the indoor unit, and all what we need to do is just put the power on. And hopefully this thing will start running. So it's showing like 0 so far. We'll give it a time, maybe a few minutes before it will initialize, start charge capacitors and whatever it does. And I already hook up the refrigerant line, so it starts rotating in about less than a minute. It's already something, because before it was no reaction. And this is the A2L R32, but I don't have the gauges the right size. Then I'm gonna just use R49 gauges. Yeah, but definitely compressor is start doing something. Just put cover back, the top cover, and that's the pressure we have right now. Yeah, the port becomes cold. It's definitely cold. Seems like it's working. Yeah, that problem was with these mode and rocker switches. I can feel the warm air blowing out the vent. Let's get inside, let's see what temp I have. Yeah, temperature dropped. Yeah, looks like we won. Success. Great success. Put back this reusable zip tie, and then putting back the cover, then a few screws around. Let's put the thermostat code, put the 70. So the unit is running for about 5 minutes. Just connected this my temperature probe, and it's showing like 61 degrees, which is great for the brand new system. And the pressure is around 150 psi. I have this type of gauges, and there's supposed to be R32 somewhere. Oh yeah, it's here, so I can check the saturation with this. I usually use these gauges to check for the nitrogen pressure test for the okay, just hook it up to the charging port here closed. Let's see what pressure do we got. So by the way, after like 10 minutes the pressure dropped, so it's 131 psi and saturation is 44.2 Fahrenheit, and here we have about 59, so we're about like 15 degrees of superheat, which is great. Yeah, I would say pretty much what we can see on the R410A system, pretty much close, but saturation here is 44 degrees. 44, let's say 60, well yeah, about like 15-16 degrees of superheat. Getting about 59 degrees out the vents, so I can tell it's working perfectly fine. So that's the attic. Basically everything is connected. So this wire is a sensor, which is located about right here, and this is the new addition. You need to basically pop it in and then insulate it, and this is all the information. That is A to L. And this is standard AC Pro A model, and this is this board which came with the coil. This is the cover, and that's the blue. So, and ideally it should be the solid green, but this one is blue. As you can see, like AC is working, but it started to giving like six flashes, the red, and it says 6 invalid configuration of sensor count. Verify the dip switch setting is correct and matches the number of sensor being used. So as we can see, we're using only one sensor, and right now we kind of set it this way. Probably we should double check, because right now is 1 is on and 2 is off. So if we have one sensor, deep have one sensor expanded in connector 1, so this is the connector 1. We have only one sensor which goes to the coils, so the deep 1 should be off, deep 2 should be on. So deep 1 should be off, deep 2 should be on. So this is incorrectly we done yesterday, so we need to redone it. Okay, I completely shut off the system, and then just let's do it. Okay, 1 off, 2 on. Okay, 1 off, 2 on, because it's closer to the on word. Okay, let's energize it and we'll see what happens. And it's getting hot in this attic. So here everything is pretty much simple. This goes to the board, there is nothing additional. This is the R, the double, I mean the Y, common, red, green, W, and this wire goes to that one thermostat. We have W, green, R, and common, and Y for the AC, for the Y, for the cooling mode. And this the wire goes to the condenser, so it's connected to Y, common, and R. So right now starts to blinking green. I believe it's green. It's just initiation. So flashing green, initiation. So we just need to wait. No need action. No need to do. So basically, this thing receives power and control from the furnace, but so far while it's initializing, it's not sending the voltages at the thermostat side, neither at the condenser, because right now, see, common R, like no volts, but we actually have volts from the air handler. Okay, let's gonna wait for how long it's gonna do its initialization, and hopefully we'll start like providing the wire, the power to this site. And I'm gonna go down and probably check, and I will not see any voltages between R and common at the thermostat, because it's still initialization process. Becomes solid green. Start to see 27 volts, and actually thermostat is calling for cool, and we have voltage, and I can hear how refrigerant is moving. Yeah, so basically if it's one sensor should be like this, on this deep switch, number 1 should be off, number 2 should be on, for if we're using only one sensor port. So again, when I goes down to check the power of the thermostat, by the time I reach the thermostat, I already got the power between R and C. And I do believe when it's blinking, it's not sending the power to this side of the board, and only when after it becomes solid green, it starts to sending the power to the zoning, to the thermostat and a condenser side. So don't be surprised if your thermostat has connected to the common and R as to source of to be energized, and it's not receiving power temporary. But thermostat that I have, on that side the common is not connected even, and it's using the batteries. So that's small thing that I recognized. Yeah, overall there's I would say nothing super difficult. Just connect this side to equipment, this side you connect thermostat, and this connect your condenser, and right here you have your the sniffing sensor, which is located about here at the bottom. Then is the black cord cable, and you need to make the loop kind of this way, so if the condensation will gonna go on that cable, it will drip up the very bottom section and not travel directly to the sensor. That's the one thing. Another thing, so that cable, which is this, there is a special exit in the coils from it, and as already mentioned, you need to connect this kind of thing. Looks like the car stuff from the suspension, but that's preventing the leakage from the coils. Of course, need to seal up this area. Yesterday was super busy, and put the new stickers to these coils, because this is originally R34B coils. It was R44B TXV, but we installed the supplied thermostat supplied TXV for R32. So I physically like open the cover and swap the TXV. The same thing like R48 TXV, nothing difference. The thread, everything is the same. Yeah, right now seems to be unit is running. This becomes and still stays solid green, and we should be good. I'm gonna apply those stickers to the pen, the cover of the operator coils. And this board is exactly the same. There is nothing new connecting to it. It's just a standard A series AC Pro unit. Here is the instruction for the outdoor unit. As you can see, nowhere it says in this instruction that you need to do something to the dip switches to switch it from communication by default mode to the just 24 volt mode, because you can see it says 24 mode wiring, and you like connecting R, C, and then you also connect H1, H2 for communication, but we don't have it. So basically what we have in our case is this. So we don't have anything like this. And when I adjust those dip switches inside of the indoor condenser, so it starts basically working like a normal. But we check like 3 times this instruction which comes, there is nothing. And this was giving the weird like the error like E6, like internal and external machine communication fault. Of course it's fault because we don't have like communication between this furnace and the outdoor condenser. That's why those dip switches was adjusted, and now it's working. Okay, just pop on this cover, and it has like kind of tube which you can see the indication, even it's closed. Okay, basically that's it. That's all what I wanted to mention during the problems we run during the installation of this new R32 system. Well, I decided to relocate the float switch because installers didn't put it in the place where I wanted. So right now it's connected to the secondary, but again I'll show you the board. So pretty standard board. You can see there is no any rocker switch for communication. Those two, it's for, I believe, the delay or something, fan delay. Standard furnace, ultra low NOx AC Pro / Lennox A series furnace. One pressure switch, a single stage gas valve, inducer motor with a capacitor, and yeah, and I believe ECM motor. ECM motor. That thing was ADP detection system kit. Just close the attic, turn on the furnace. As you can see right now, probably that sniffer board, the lamp is blinking, and as you can see we don't have any power to any of the wires. But the only one thing is interesting, that this is fan is blowing. Seems like is that sniffer port applying power only to the G terminal to make kind of purge air, and while it's doing this purge air, it's probably measuring the for any leaks. So that sensor is probably activated right now, and while the airflow is coming through the system, is checking if there is no leaks or something like that. Because right here between R and G, I don't see any voltages. Or maybe it's just blowing because I just put the cover back to the furnace. But interesting fact, when I flip the switch back on, the blower did not start immediately. I was able to close the cover, the ceiling cover, and then get down here. Okay, let's just wait for some time when the initialization process will end, and we will see it will start applying the voltages here to the thermostat terminals, and that means inside that sniffing board you will get the solid green light. About maybe like 4 minutes, you see we start to receive power to the thermostat terminals. Yes, confirmed. And after another 30 seconds I start to see that it stops blowing from the vent. So let's just put back the thermostat, set it to 70 to cool out. Fan starts blowing and the outdoor unit should start running. Yeah, I assume that it's done, so I cover like the most problems that we had during this installation. Basically it was first those like rocker switches for the right communication mode, let's say, and the second is properly installation of the deep switches for the sensor one for the sniffer